Hello, hello. All right, it's working. Manage your channel directly from your phone. This is an unmanaged stream. Haha! Wee! You are here. Today we stream How are you? I'm sorry to hear that. You're gonna hate your job for the next 2 weeks. It is what it is. Are you in like crunch mode or some sort of review or unfairness? You don't have to disclose. You have my sympathies. You have to be on phones. Okay. You do not have to, even if you're not chatting, consider you there in spirit. Your support has always been much appreciated. This morning I got up early and I did some details on the Octarock, so that's cool. Alexa's in. Good to see you both. We were definitely running into some technical... I think something that was happening is my project file for this, as it's getting more and more developed, it's just getting difficult for my computer to avoid having errors. You can see lots and lots of layers, and these aren't like small layers with nothing on them. These are like layers with lots of actual real bits of stuff that that's getting a little intensive, and if it keeps it up, I might have to split them into little bits so that it's not all just on one page. That's okay. That's more normal. It's just not normal from my process. But that's okay. We could try that, but I don't want to do it on stream. It's a cumbersome thing. We'll try to push through. This is an Octarock that has is a cyclopod a real animal? This is an Octarock of a revised design that I've done, which is just sort of super oversized mama Octarock that it's like the size of a house or something. It's there, a little subtle. Oh, you mean like a cyclopod. That's kind of a cool idea. It's definitely the more prominent. Trying to give an octopus an expression here. Huh. I can work on this, or I can do some of that Reddit stuff, which was interesting. It was very well received for what it was. Let me check my stats. And Lolly put it nicely. Free advertising is what it was. I think the smarter thing is to actually do some Reddit stuff, but it's not to say it's smarter. It's there's these trade-offs, and I don't necessarily I might do the Reddit, but I might try doing it in a way that is a little differently, so it's not so let's see here. Oh, interesting. There's a Draw for Me subreddit. Ugh, so much stuff. It definitely drove a lot of interest to the stream, which is cool. I have no idea if any of those people actually are watching or do watch now, but but enough people checked out the stream that make me think, gave me pause that, hey, maybe it should be something that I do semi-regularly. It's fun to see this stuff. Let's see here. And if I go to my video producer, I can see. Yeah, the one I did of the fairy girl drove 103 people to come and check out the ooh, maybe an animal. Yeah. Let's see what's there. Let's see what I can do here. Pull this over here. See, these are cool. Nice little speed painting someone did. That's a good model. That would be a good one. Historical romance. Please draw me. Guy with chicken. Some of these people are more photogenic than others. Fun guy and dog. I have a feeling that this is our winner. And a fun challenge. So let's... He's got his body in there. It's a very nice physique. Certainly has nice legs for a dude. This chair is interesting. Like, he's set it up right. He set it up right to get what he's requesting. This is a true and very famous... I don't know if it's, like, true in the way that it's written. What's up, bro? I don't know if it's true in the way that it's written. Specifically, this is like a meme. But, yeah, the... Oh, cool. Electric bike. Nice. This certainly is a fun reality where... It's happened to me where I've drawn you know, just make it a mom making a bowl of cereal for her children, and it's just like drawn way too it's like distractingly attractive. They're like, okay, just make her like very, very plain Jane instead of it just automatically happens sometimes. So artists doing their thing. This is a great reference and a fun challenge. So this would be fun. We'll try this. Oop. Something for the ladies. And it's should be easier too. The like the male form, the male face, much more forgiving. You know, if you add too many lines, it just looks more masculine. It's totally fine. I'm gonna pull this up as reference for me up here, so I can see up here what you guys are gonna look at down here. And I like this interesting pose. His face is a little too soft there. I might do something to intensify it. Maybe he could have a sword or something. Straight up Lucifer. Okay. Think about it for a second. He can here's how my day is gonna go. Right now we've got this she's really awesome. She's our cleaning lady comes once every 2 weeks and tidies things up, and that's a great help with the 2 kids and stuff like that. So she's doing it while she is actually doing hard work in the house. I'm sort of confined in here, and so I'm going to be forced to be working and possibly streaming for most of the day. It's not... Is that Jesus? Happy Friday, everybody. Hi, Ham. Yeah, this guy's a good fit for Jesus. Not much needs to be adjusted. He's just a male model. He's just a male model. Leave him be. He's good. He's good at what he's doing. This was from a... Where his pants go? All right. I will do a very quick... Not to get on my pedestal or anything like that, but when we... Only as in, this is a art quasi-educational, informative stream where we try to set a good example. It is appreciated if we limit the teasing of the model. It takes a lot to opt to put yourself out there in a vulnerable state, and I don't think I need to go into about, you know, where would artists be without models. They are an interesting group of people, and we have a symbiotic relationship with them. So we don't want to have a situation where we poke too much fun at the subjects. That is to say, there is an invisible fine line that sometimes even I might accidentally cross, but if we can, let's be respectful But yes, part of it is being naked, and sometimes it can be confusing how one chooses to be naked. In this case, I just don't think they wanted to have themselves fully exposed on a public board, but he looks completely comfortable being portrayed and objectified here. And it shouldn't be too difficult to put together something cool. Alright, that said, I'll probably fuck it up, but that's okay. It's only live, so... Okay. Try with the same brush. I think that'll do. His face is not perfectly symmetrical, and we don't need it to be. I guess what we should do is think about, do we really want this pose? Like, I think I do. We'll give him these cool Luciferian wings. I mean, those are badass bat wings. Poses are not quite... Like, this might be the more interesting pose. He's supposed to be smoldering in the eternal fires of, right? Or something. I'm not sure if any of that is actually true. Like... canonical or anything like that. And look, even here, these Lucifers have their little robes. We could see how much of that we could bring in. Sort of interesting crown. Yeah, it looks like he's trying to pose in a way that honors these images. Let's just stick with this one. Yeah, the story might be beefed up for sure. The real story is, it was so hot, they wanted another one. Okay. Elucidate us, Ham. Let's see here. I always like to start with a line of action. In this case, it's like a seated pose. It's not really like it's going to be too much one way or another. Yeah, Lolly, we're going to draw the devil. But not this pose. We're drawing this pose. I'll do what I can to possibly intensify it. All the reference I need is right here. We'll get a good likeness on his face, and at the worst we'll possibly pump up his physique, but not in any major way. What's not clear? What is this dude? He wants to be drawn as Satan, which I find this interesting. I find this a fun challenge, and he's provided. It's as good as any direction I would get on a project. Like, here's some references. They're not perfect. Here's the cell. Here's the idea. See what you can do. We'll see how far we can get. Don't want to get too perfect about things either. Last time it ran way too long. We don't need things to be perfect. Oh, I keep switching over. We're doing this one. We're doing this one, and tomorrow I might do the other one. You know. Doesn't have to be either or. It's super popular. I might opt to do both. Yeah, well, this is Lucifer. Fallen angel. Also, this is a bit of like art history, sort of teaching moment kind of stuff, so. And anyway, I appreciate that this guy, he could have easily just put these pictures into Midjourney and asked the AI to do it and probably got a satisfactory result. It is interesting to me when people eschew that and want something different. The pose isn't perfect. It's one thing that's not perfect is in this reference image, it's not super clear if the if he's leaning back or leaning forward. It sort of just looks like he's being straight up and down, and that is perfectly good, but in the reference images he supplied, we can see that the artist made a clear decision that they are leaning backwards with like a little bit of the head crunching forward. It's a little bit ambiguous on his pose. Yeah, he's left leaning. We'll leave room. He'll need his. He'll need his cool wings. They'll make an appearance somewhere. Yeah, the mushroom one turned out good. I mean, it didn't like explode the internet. The mushroom fairy, yeah. It was well received. At least it got good compliments. I've yet to get any like toxic feedback or anything like that on these things, and I wouldn't. I'm not sure if I've been the recipient of much negative feedback, but it could happen. It's okay. I'm a big boy. But the size of it worked out fine, and this is the same size as the mushroom fairy. I think it's fine. This is probably as big as I can draw expediently without straining my system. My computer system. All right, I'm getting bogged down on stupid details. The small details, like where the ribs are poking out, are not as important as making sure the eyebrows are in the right place. Eyebrows, nose. Everything has to get done in the right order. Yeah, the layers that I work on, I want to make sure that I'm not drawing on the canvas layer, which is immutable, as in if I draw on it, I cannot rescue that information from the white space it would be grafted on. It's like drawing on glue, for instance, which isn't what I want. And so I create a layer of white space in between so that if I ever do draw on the canvas, I'll know instantly because I can't see what I draw on the canvas because the white space layer is blocking it. I can even lock it. Okay, so layer 2 I know is a transparent layer, meaning I can draw underneath it if I needed to. Oh, whoops. But even there, like, it's easy to get, especially if you're moving quickly, it's easy to make a mistake. But by keeping things on transparent layers, you can draw non-destructively, you can create cool effects. Yeah, we don't want to sin. The cardinal sin of drawing on the wrong layer is very bad. A lot of what will make this drawing look cool will be in the shading phase. I'll do all my tricks to make him look evil and brooding. Demo vibes. You might be referencing something I'm not quite getting. Not that it's everybody's cup of tea, but I have I guess it's a popular figure drawing Instagram that I do, where right here, I mean, it looks like it's all just naked ladies here, but I do, you scroll down to when things were actually more on site and more of a gamble. Oh, you could see, got in plenty of male models in there too. Some great figure drawings. I know. I'm risking it. I'm risking it all. Get shut down. Listen, that's the I guess you're right. Maybe I shouldn't have shown it, but that's how it is. The model world is what it is. But if you're interested in that sort of thing, you can check it out. You can check out that that stuff. It's not a repudiation of censorship necessarily, but the one of the reasons I don't keep up that Instagram the way I would like to is because it's been inundated. Like, of 4,000 followers, at least 3,000 of those are bots, and I have no idea where they came from. Or they're not even, that's the worst kind, they're not even bots. It just feels like they're fake followers from, not to denigrate it, but third world countries that if they have an interest in my drawings, it's their puerile interests alone, and that isn't why I put those out there. This is we're trying to uplift the human form and not debase it, and those that, you know, come to an art class to gawk at nudity and giggle, work at cross purposes. That said, it is a fine line of how do you know how do you define help? How do you define what is good for humanity? I try to set an example of, if we can, embracing vulnerability as a kind of as embracing vulnerability as a defense to become indefensible, with our conviction that the work that we're doing is important and self-justified, something like that. Presented in a sincere context for educational purposes, you know. It's like sex ed class in high school or whatever, you know. On one hand, you don't want kids learning about this stuff. On the other hand, you definitely want them to know about this stuff. So, where our society tries to have it both ways, it's just confusing. And I get it. Not everybody's ready for it, but You know, I would no more censor my own art than I would expect the Uffizi Palace to censor Michelangelo's David. You know, for instance, that's an absurd thing. And my apologies to, you know, younger folks who might never have seen a naked body in their lives, God forbid, but you know, if your parents aren't properly structuring your internet time, that's on them. Hey, Luke. Luke was here for my 4 a.m. stream. That feels like yesterday. Oh, Neela, hey. And Neela is an art streamer from Great Britain. Is that correct? Yeah, I successfully got the kids off to school, full bellies. I'm making a push here for some internet clout with drawing this guy. This guy, you see him down here. There's a Reddit. I'm good. How are you? There is this Reddit called rDrawMe, and this gentleman has put himself out there to be turned into Lucifer, which is very edgy, controversial. But it creates an opportunity to poach people with artistic interests from Reddit and bring them to my stream. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're doing well with your projects. I like that he doesn't have a perfect face. It's a very handsome, masculine face, but it's not perfect. I feel like that helps to... The challenge will be to... he's a natural ringer for the white Christian Jesus that... is everywhere, but today we get to do it different. It makes the story of the corruption a little bit more, brings it more at hand. There's a very subtle sense of his eyes being open that I want to get. And I apologize if I'm drawing small and this is difficult to make out. Some of this stuff might be. We can try different things like we could decide how much of this Devil May Cry hair could like drip in front of his eyes, for instance. We'll go a little further with this body design. This is about as far as it needs to go with like a rough underdrawing. great elongated face, evoking classical mannerism. That would be a great musketeer. This kind of hair and this beard. He looks like he could play like Descartes or like Aragorn or something. I think I have too much hair on this side of the head. I don't mind just sort of puffing out a little bit more over there to balance it. Cut out. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Oh, Maiko, welcome. Welcome back. Maiko was there for my 4 a.m. as well. I saw that you followed me on Instagram on my Zelda project. Thank you. Trying to find ways of not overstating my case to people that might be interested. It's like I don't want to be like a spammy guy. Problem is that Instagram is like all spam, so a little bit of that feels futile, but thank you, Neela. I haven't played or seen much Baldur's Gate. Here I have a slight deviation, which I'm not sure I'm picking up. Like, I'm not picking up here visually, but I don't know if I have these eyes perfectly. I guess they're pretty close, but the reference image looks like this eye should be a little lower. So we could try and flop this and make sure I'm not making any huge mistakes so far. And it's not bad. Looks like him. Oop. Whoa, 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 what? What just happened? Yeah, but I didn't... Well, interestingly... Come on. Undo, undo, undo. How come... Come on back. Come on, baby. I didn't even save it. That's funny. We can, well, interesting. I mean, that's on me for not, that's on me for not, having the, stuff saved properly, but... Well, we can try and see what can be done. Oof. There's no saving it now. What's interesting is that the image is still sort of saved because it was on the stream. So it's... I could just pull it up again, I guess, via the stream. I'm not sure if I'd have to... Yeah. Yeah, see if you can get the clip. Is that possible? Yeah, get the clip with the artwork, if it exists. Whatever more recent one you can have, and I don't know, send me a link or email it to me. So theoretically, there's a script recorder that records this stuff. What is this stuff? Jeez. Whoa. Oh, cool. What is this? What does this do? Yeah. Okay, it didn't record it the way I thought it would. Now I'm curious what this is. Will this play something? Okay, this is an earlier script I had. Okay, I'm gonna click on your Twitch clips. Okay, cool. Huh. That had been a theory of mine that the... Thank you. Okay, this is great. Yeah. This will be a fun... Wow. So did you make that clip? That's awesome. Here, I have to tell it to pause. Okay. Rescue my own drawings from my stupid program. Oh, nope, that's not it. Random octopus. Sometimes it goes this way. Perfectly good underdrawing, at least. Oop. Devil will not stop us. It's less than ideal, but way better than nothing. Rescue the art. That's amazing. Thank you for doing that. So what I'd like, I mean, what that I mean, because obviously it's still streaming. I could resurrect it theoretically myself from a video on demand, but not without interrupting the stream clearly. And so this was a good. This is amazing. Yeah, now save that. We'll see. We'll see if it lets me. Okay, let's just call this Lucifer. It'd be my cursed drawing. I love that. It makes it more dramatic, you know? Oh, fun. Very storied, very audience participation. How cool is that? So, do you guys ever hear that story about like how the like someone accidentally deleted everything, like while they were in production on Toy Story 2, someone accidentally deleted like 90% of the film from the film server. And they were like, what the? It was like a nearly finished film. And then one random person was like, oh, I've got a backup copy on my hard drive at home. I'll just go get it. And she like saved the company, right? But do you know who just got laid off from Pixar the other day? So just goes to show. Artists. Yeah, I hope so too. I hope she had many raises in between her layoff. I'm sure, you know, it's hard times out there right now for companies, not just artists. So it's nothing to say that anything against Pixar. It's just to underscore how hard it is. I'm interested in sort of rolling with the chaos of this piece, and we're just going to do it all in one layer. Sort of has this imperfection a little bit baked in at this point. Let's embrace it. Yeah, at least they've created a lot of value for the shareholders. Go right to final. Just render it out. I'm still not sure exactly what caused that thing to happen. Something dangerous about... I must have accidentally deleted a layer, but then... I can't explain what happened. But that was a great save. The Twitch clips. We'll make it feel like nothing happened at all. Yeah, man, the computer's just following orders, man. Satan's orders. Don't want to overdo it with overloading the beard with brush strokes representing hair. It's really just best to always treat it like it's a form. The light side, a dark side. Here's the devil looking very frustrated. He's sort of playing back the chess game in his head. Where did I make that mistake? I almost had it all. Yeah, there we go. That's the link. Thank you, Ham. Here, I'll quickly click it and we can have a thing. Being deleted twice. Okay, we don't need to run any commercials, but it's a legit link. The link is legit. Wonder if I should grow my hair out like this. Super Mario Galaxy I haven't played, but are you a game designer? Luke? Or just finding it interesting? Before I go too far, I want to just plug the Chiltendo Deluxe. This artist has made a lot of lo-fi tracks that I've been using on this stream. We are indebted to them. I too am an art school dropout, so we're all welcome here. A little bit too much. Beauty school dropout, yeah. Grease is fun. A lot of cool, fun songs. Yeah, I went to... I mean, I've certainly spent my time in art classes, but I don't have a formal piece of paper that says, congrats, you know what you're doing. I don't think those are worth much, ultimately, but... But when I was 18, well, when I was 17, I went to Vancouver Film School for animation. That's in Canada. Although I'm from LA, so it was a little bit of an adjustment. I was a bit young for it. I wouldn't have... I don't know if I was quite ready for the challenge of being on my own. And I was ostensibly learning animation, however, it was not, I recognized it as animation as it was, but no longer was going to be. Ultimately, they were teaching us the fundamentals are the same no matter where you learn animation, of course. You get the squash and stretch, the flour sack, walk cycles, bouncing ball, etc., etc. And I had known how to do all that stuff before I went to the school. So I went to the school, you know, for many of my classmates, it was like their first time going to art school. For me, I'd been taking it seriously for many years, even as a teenager. I got to school and everybody was incompetent and surrounded by bad influences and people who didn't inspire me or have anything useful to teach me, and sort of as a quasi-art prodigy, I had a bit of an ego, if you can imagine, and I considered it a waste of time. I'm not sure I was wrong, but as an adult, I would have just done things differently on purpose, because otherwise it's sort of a waste of money. Come away with something on paper. But yeah, it didn't amount to much. I don't think art school experiences are very offer much by way of return generally. But I don't want to go on a rant about art school stuff. Sort of bit by bit rendering here that I'm doing on the body is not what I would recommend generally. I think it's just sort of, it's appropriate in our case here with with what has happened with that issue where we're sort of given license to do things a little differently. Take a moment to save. This brush that I'm using is of my own devising, and has a lot to do with how I'm pulling off some of these rendering techniques. It's as akin to a charcoal brush as I've been able to develop. It's got the ability to dynamically change its shape. I can press very lightly, I can press very darkly, and I can even blend with it. Very it allows for sort of a synthesis, and it saves time where I'm not switching in between different sizes of brushes, different types of brushes. I don't have to switch to a blender. I don't have to switch to a large brush. I don't have to switch to... If you've noticed, I haven't switched brushes at all. I'm getting all sorts of different brush strokes. It all sort of dynamically comes together with how I'm holding my stylus and the pressure I'm applying. Let's flop it, see what things are looking like. So far, so good. Good enough. Good enough for free, right? Yeah, I'm kind of doing it justice, I think. Computer always complaining about something. Should be interesting to do all these abs. Lots of little tiny things for me to mess up. What might be a smart artistic decision is to let most of the concentrated rendering be in the face, but then as it gets farther away, and especially in the wings, we could almost imagine these as, like, I'll add more detail and I'll use his sculptural reference as a clue on how to proceed. But just trying to think of an artistic theme here. It could be that he is maybe in more of a... Is there a way to suggest the wings in a way that feels imaginary, like as if he's thinking about himself as Satan, as opposed to him literally being Satan? Like, is that more of an interesting... Blurred, perhaps less defined, less contrast, if not blurred. We might start that way anyway, and if it looks good, we just, you know, I'm almost like presupposing I'll want to quit halfway finished, but let's not go there just yet. It will look cool if we make them look realistic. But there are other ways to make art look cool. We have time to think about it before we make that decision. Like, we could almost use, like, let's say I rendered this arm really quick so that we could see the entire arm, even though I guess even in the photo we can't, but I can complete with my imagination what that might look like. Close enough, at least. Better if I don't try to make everything look perfect anyway. An overwrought drawing can be like an overcooked dish. I do wonder how my heavily cartoonish characters would look like in actual realistic style and not satirical. We could examine that in a future stream. If you show me your stuff, I can critique it. I'm not an expert on cartoon or character design or anything like that, but, you know, I could bring a little bit of experience that might eventually lead you to the right direction. And I wouldn't want to do your work for you. But that is to say that how and why something looks realistic has a lot to do with how the light affects it. Almost all the difference in like old Toy Story films versus the new ones is the lighting and the rendering. Food for thought. It could be a it could be a thing you can mull over. Decent looking arm. If this guy isn't a professional model, like as far as art modeling, I mean, that's hard to pull off, like a professional art model. Most art models do all sorts of stuff, not just modeling. But this guy would be welcome in any figure drawing classroom in LA, that's for sure. And there are all kinds of, I hope, reputable, but well-known sort of conduits between model and artist where, you know, they'll set up Zoom events. Models can even do it entirely themselves. Most of the time, that's exactly what happens. They just sort of post, hey, I'll be streaming, much the way I'm streaming this. They'll be streaming their own artist modeling event, and they'll send out a link. They'll say, artists, Venmo me $15. I'll send you the link. You can chime in. You can come into my stream, and I'll be modeling, and I'll be posing as Jesus or posing as Lucifer. When it's done online, it can be an easy way to rake in, I don't know, a few $100. It's just a matter of getting, you know, being a reputable model, having a product worth selling, of course, and then the getting the word out to the artists. But I've done many sessions like that, and including the stuff that you've, if you were here for it, you might have seen earlier where I dropped my Instagram. Well, using photos as a reference is not the ideal. The in-person is the best, I believe, as far as really training the deep understanding of figure drawing. Of course, absolutely. Second best, I mean, we're talking about COVID era solutions. The second best was the video, remote video. And then you know, third best is the is like photos, I guess. Like right here, we're using photos. But what would happen if this guy was for real, like in for real life, is every like 30 minutes or, you know, 25 minutes or so, there'd be a scheduled break. He would get up and go do something, go stretch. You know, it's actually difficult work being a model. Yes, they do sit there, but they also do their best not to move. And that actually takes a lot of strength when you think about it. Then what happens is they come back, and lo and behold, because it's a scientific impossibility for them to do so, they cannot exactly get the pose right. That's part of the natural exchange is, and part of the zen of figure drawing, especially real life figure drawing, is you don't get to have the perfect conditions to draw under. The lighting may not be great. Your model may drift their pose. They'll start off in one pose and they'll... That's a fun way to sort of create an artistic diversion. I've known models, especially if they are like long pose models, like they're really just sitting there, they'll bring a book, you know, something to occupy their minds. It's difficult even just to stay awake for some models. I've seen models fall asleep. The models may have been partying too much the night before, but that's a habit of some artists I know. And nothing to judge. Models do sort of exist in this sex, drugs, and rock and roll kind of state. There's a lot of exposure to things that might harm them, scuzzy people, regretful decisions. It can be bad. You know, so with that, I really try to have a bit of empathy for what models go through. It's very common for me to see models like, oh my god, I'm getting evicted, and you know, it's like shit, you know, horrible things that are, I mean, that happens to normal people all the time, but isn't like, happens to non-models all the time, but like with models, it's like chronic stuff, you know. You almost, you know, you can't, normal people don't pose for art. It's not even something people ever think about. For a model, it's like second nature. This is you know, they make a sacrifice for their part in art. Anyway, so I try to be a booster, a support for models, and you know, it's not uncommon for me to, at least during COVID, it was common for me to pay and reserve a spot on a modeling session via Zoom that I knew I probably couldn't go to. So at least they got, you know, if I could go to it, great. But if I was busy with work, at least the model made a little money. And me being busy with work was good enough. I'm one of those people that can fall asleep instantly. Sometimes I wonder if drawing isn't a kind of dreaming. It's kind of akin to daydreaming. Some things I think about. With a lot of what I'm doing right now as I'm rendering is I'm not actually thinking much about anything. It's the greatest challenge, you know, is in dealing, like if you're drawing from a live figure where they're moving and you have to make changes based on things that are in flux and dynamic and on all sorts of stuff, all that unexpected stuff. That's a great, really, really difficult challenge. When it's sort of all here in a photograph, This is just sort of meditative. It's not as difficult as doing Mushroom Princess or Mushroom Fairy, or even the Zelda stuff. This is right now, this is not any more difficult because I'm experienced in it. It's not necessarily more difficult than driving a car to a place you're already familiar with. You can space out your mind, think about other things, and before you know it, you're there. You don't even remember all the turning and turning left and turning right. Those things are not even registering as obstacles that you have to deal with. Your body just responds to them as it would walking and thinking about something, or driving or thinking about something, like autopilot. Age, welcome. What time is it in Japan? This is the question I have to ask everybody. Oh, you are up late, man. Or did you just get up? Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw he was streaming. Our mutual friend Eric is a storyboard artist like me who is dipping his toe into streaming. And Hage is a comic book illustrator. Okay, you get up early. All right, I like that. All right, that's a new habit for me too. I'm working on it. Today I did it okay. Draw when the babies are asleep. That is right, man. Yeah, my kids are at school right now. First grade and preschool, so it's just like daycare, but it's good. It's a good place. And as we get closer to the edge of the framing, we're going to allow for the form to sort of fall away and just drop off. me figure out a way to reduce that. There are some hard edges down here where we had to rescue the drawing, cut it out again. This is another one that might look good in a sort of oval framing. So we might try to finish it like that. How was Eric Hage? Is he crushing his stream? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, like when your kids learn something that you didn't teach them, like they teach themselves. It's like the best thing. Recently, they've been revisiting old toys that they've had forever, but they'd have like, it's like a puzzle game that they had since they were like toddlers. They didn't know how to figure them out then. Put them away forever, ignored them until they become invisible. And then we're like, okay, it's time to donate this. And they're like, wait, what is that? And now that they're older and smarter, they look at it, they're like, hey, this is cool. So then they, of course, they don't want to get rid of it, which is fine. Actually play with it, please. And so they do. But it's funny seeing what products do and don't get a second life. Yeah, he's interested in doing lots of different things. I'm interested in yeah, we've talked about doing like streaming together at some point in the future, and I think it'd be fun. We don't need to put too much attachment or judgment on the idea. I think it's whatever we can do to bring more visibility to our craft is pretty much all of us have decided that our mutual sense of discretion as professionals can only go so far to help us. Hey, this is looking pretty decent. Let's flip this. Come on back when you're ready, well, Lolly. That's looking good. Looking sinister. And here we can still see some... It's interesting how... Now, I didn't erase any of the underdrawing. Well, I've been distracting you, so you can blame it on me. But the there are some things that are sort of catching at me. One thing is that, you know, I can tell that he doesn't have a perfectly symmetrical face here, but he doesn't have a perfectly symmetrical face as a model. We'll set that aside. That doesn't need to bother us. This hard edge here is a little much. That's a little more Willem Dafoe than I think he is. Fix that a little bit. I think it's mostly good, but I wonder if a little bit more hair like that might feel more balanced. At a distance, yeah. It's subtle, but I like it slightly better. Maybe split the difference. If we can make this look amazing, shrunken down in a distance like this, then that's all there is to it. That's great art right there. Now, there are some interesting challenges here. He's got some shading and some shadows, and we need to add the wings in. I want to do some small little fixie fixes. Tackle that a little better. I think all I really want to do is add a little bit of spots of detail that feel like they are a little more clarified, maybe just in his face. Flip this again. But the body looks nice. Everything's basically looking exactly how I would want it. Just looks so bitter. He lost his war in heaven. You can go to bed. This is not a this stream is too chill. The chill vibes of the stream are infectious. You've been corrupted by the chill. Yeah. Boom. It's like one of those like Iron Chef like chopped surprise ingredients, like now you must incorporate chocolate into your dish, you know. Like, oh my god. It's looking good. Do a little bit to add some flourish, because right now all of the brush strokes on account of the pen I was using, or the brush, they're so overly blended. More so than it makes it look like I have a feather touch, and that's okay. That's still hot, but we can get in there, and like there's this stray line. It's not perfect, but I'm gonna leave that in. I don't need to fix everything. You know, if you want a perfect drawing, this guy wants it perfect, he can message me and commission it. Gotta make sure we're getting every subtle piece of overlap. So people know which way to look, what we want them to look at first. That is so funny that it was rescued by the clips, and I don't even know what those are. Like Ham, I know that previously, I think you made a clip or something? Someone else had made a clip? I don't know what those are supposed to do. I don't know what they, where they go. Yeah, now make him an angel. It's like, fuck. Cool. It's looking now, even from this distance, the sections where I'm adding that relief, yeah, but here's my question: is do people look at those? Like, what about I guess here's what I understand is that, like, on a 2-hour stream, like, maybe no one has the attention span to watch that start to finish. So, you know, that I would totally forgive anybody. Like, even when I had really great teachers, when they would be doing long demos like the one I'm doing right now, it was very difficult to pay attention the entire time. It was very tempting to just go back to my desk and get back to work. Clips are a native Twitch function, so during the live stream, if you are fast, you can click clip, and it will allow you to do some basic cuts and basic cut edits and publish it. And it saves to Twitch channel. Because the streamer can unpublish or delete them. Okay, because I saw that, I was like, oh, I'm flattered people cared or found anything interesting worth clipping. I'm like, oh, this is me embarrassing myself. Perfect. It's perfect for a clip. I think that's all the focus where I think I want it to be, at least as far as the body goes. Draw in some fun. Just to give a little sense. Some of this form. All right, you have a nice one. Day, night, whatever it is, have a nice one. Thank you for joining in. Come back another day. I'm gonna add hair there. I have to add the shadow of that hair. That basically does the trick. Okay. Lucifer Jesus looking pretty good. Okay, let's do some wings. And there is no, like, anybody can go anytime. That I really appreciate people being here for it, but the like, I won't feel like if you aren't glued to your seat the entire time that the my opinion of anybody will not be. There will no detractions. I'm grateful to have any of this. Yeah, it's tricky. What are the... Okay, good. I'm glad it's motivating. I hope it's a... You know, I'm not trying to dunk on art. Everything is... For me, this is highly educational too. The opportunity here to take myself more seriously and feel like I'm attempting to be a good influence and refute my previous cynical ways. This can be my redemption here. Okay, there's all this interesting anatomy in these. Okay, yeah, keep it perfect background. I'm gonna do. Let's see here. We'll go till no more than half an hour on the rest of this piece. We'll so 12:45. 12:45. We'll call it. We'll export it. We'll post it to Reddit together, and then everybody who's still there and watching, we can all go vote and mass vote it up and game the system that way, huh? That could be good. It's like a strategy. But so far, so good on the body. Except for this one little piece. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think I want to first quickly establish which way I want the articulation of the thing to go. So this wing, we've got the body. Here's our front view. There's this theme here, and I wonder if it was intentional, but the covering up of the crotch, it's as if Satan's hurt his pride here. If you look for it, there's always a theme in art, even if it's subconscious. Even if the artist doesn't know it. Okay. So we'll have a big simplification. The wings will arch out, going from this way and then coming back towards the camera so that we can, like as if it was a macaroni noodle, it would look like this in the first articulation, then back like this in the second articulation. So as if two macaroni noodles went up like an S. Or should it be different? Yeah, I've got that backwards. Never mind what I said. It goes like this. Macaroni noodle faces away from us. Then macaroni noodle like this. More towards the camera. And then it sort of has this frontal movement so that it feels like it's coming forth. So something that originates in the back, works its way out to the front. along this interesting plan. And so the articulation of these bones, if you thought of them as the wing bones, the bat wing bones, you thought of them as gnarly macaroni noodles. That will be the strategy. And this is a bit like the Lolly, welcome back. Are we all familiar with I'm just gonna call them H.R. Geiger because I'm American and we mispronounce Scandinavian, European, Euro names like that. It's probably like Gaye or something. I couldn't fathom to guess the proper pronunciation of his name, but he was the concept artist and designer on the Alien films. And the aesthetic of the wings reminds me of his work. Now, these wings will be on separate layers, so if we decide it's too distracting or whatever, we can always do something else with them. But right now I'm trying not to think about it too much. We don't know what Satan's wings look like. This artist did a great guess at what that would be. You can honor that as well as the model's request up to the point that it stops serving us. If it does stop serving us, we try something else. I think if anything, Satan should have clipped wings. That feels like it's kind of a theme. Don't know if we'll do that, but where's he gonna go? Right? Hold on. Not so fast there, buddy. Where are you off to in such a hurry? One thing I don't love about our model's pose is, despite everything, his shoulders more or less feel like they are equally close and far away from the camera. I don't think it's easy to say that this shoulder is closer to camera than that one, nor can you say that this one is closer to camera than that one. And if either one is, it's negligible. It doesn't look like there's been any decisions about that made. Whereas in our references, it's been very clear that the artist made a decision about that. Well, what would make sense is if I made a deliberate sense to, like, if this arm is covering up his body, maybe this wing could cover up the body. And that sort of works in that we've got this already. We've got the do we like that theme? I don't know if I want him too covered up, but the it also is fine. Like, I like it when I can sort of juxtapose opposites. So, I mean, it is on another layer. We could just see what happens if we put this wing on the other side. Oh boy, let me save. Getting a sense. Uh-oh, we've had 12 dropped frames. Hopefully things aren't getting laggy. I don't know when that happened, but oh boy, just move this over. If we feel like this looks better over here, for whatever reason, and actually, I like it. That wouldn't be the most kosher way of proceeding. But given all the variables here, I think I like the idea of deciding, and we should have done this before, but we're doing it now, and that's okay. But having this, like this side of his body is more covered up, and the other side is more open. And just decide that. If we had full control of the model, I would have shifted one of his shoulders closer to camera, the other farther away, made sure everything else was sort of having this push and pull. Not just left and right, but in Z space as well. Left, right, up and down, but also close and farther away from camera. It's the Z space, the 3D effect that is most often overlooked in drawing attempts. Even by really talented artists, they'll sort of get on autopilot and draw like stick figures flailing out with no consideration about what is overlapping what, or not enough. Okay, I like this. I like the idea of it being open on this side and therefore more closed on this side. Now, how do we draw that on this side? Relatively painlessly, while still looking like it's doing what we want it to do. I don't want to overthink it. These are imperfect renderings of bones as they are. Maybe even more covered up. been a long time since I got to draw anything cool and demonic looking. Oh, hi Neela, welcome back. Lolly, if you truly have returned, so here's my plan. Here's my sneaky plan. Is we'll post this on Reddit. We'll do it together. We'll all upvote it. Do like this surge of upvoting. Of course, in order to upvote, I think you need a Reddit account. If you don't have one, just don't worry about it. But if you have one, then you have no excuse. You must upvote me. Join my army, and we'll do that in the next 15 minutes. And once it's upvoted, oh good, I'll come check out your stream, Neela. Even if it's just VOD. I'm presently distracted, of course, but I want to watch as well as be watched. After we post this, hopefully what will happen is it'll drive some traffic to the stream. And lo and behold, we'll do the stream and I'll draw the Mirage tribute to your Apex efforts. And then if it happens to be that they liked this coming together, they might be curious to see the Mirage one as well. So it's like set them up, poach the audience of Reddit, because theoretically people who are in that subreddit are curious about illustration or fine art techniques. Not that this is fine art, but sort of synthetic fine art, digital art, and not AI, which is sort of the point. Work together to restore the good name of artists. That's the imitation, or the intention here. I really appreciate the compliment, though. I spent enough time copying these things, I might as well put that stuff to use. It does look like charcoal. As close as I can. We can be artsy with some of this stuff. Have it feel, yeah. Well, I might have time to add some effects that might help or hinder. We can see. Definitely need to have some of these wing striations in this negative space. by the way, that caption is some shit you would expect out of you or Boxer. Yeah, it's if I'm not hot enough, Boxer is there to steal the show. He's definitely the more scoundrel looking of the two of us, I feel. Although he's easily the nicer. Neela, my brother is a variety game streamer that makes his appearance on this stream sometimes, but he goes by Boxer419. I should put his. I need to pay attention to these links. Yeah, he's a dashing fellow as well. So if you feel like checking out another gamer stream. A good amount of the people in my chat are actually more or less poached from him. All good people. He plays a lot of Elden Ring. I don't want to speak for him. And Lollywobbles is a game streamer as well. She does a good amount of Apex and Dead by Daylight. Okay, this is ticking the marks for me. I'm liking this. Let's okay, that can go away. It's looking pretty good. So, oh, he plays Souls? Oh, okay. Is it just called Souls? Dark Souls. Dark Souls, that's what he plays. Roguelike, Souls-like. Wonder. Okay, so I'm gonna do a couple little toucharoonies. We're nearly. Okay, let's zoom out. Let's zoom out. And yeah, while I can. So what helps a lot, and we can see this if we zoom out all the way, it looks good. It looks like a great drawing. It looks like someone knows what they're doing, but some of the form of his body is getting lost in the form of the wings. And the way we just fix that is we just offset the as quickly as we can the tone of the wings. With fuck it, I'll use this. This is too dark, but the darkness will help me see the contrast against the form, and then we'll lighten it up really quickly before we finish. But even just the lightly sharper edge will show off the form of the body. A little bit more clearly. Ham is my crisis actor audience. She's paid to clap. Tell me my drawings are brilliant. This will be in danger of looking too cut out if I don't treat it, but we will treat it. Softening edges where we need to. We'll lighten it up. It doesn't need to be super dark. It's just helping me see the form. Towards the edges here. Sort of work towards a gradient. Beefcake Devil stream. That'll be the theme for the day. We'll get a beefcake stream. I'll draw Mirage next. He'll do something silly. Quick save. Okay, and now we can see when we back up, we can still see the form of the body. But it's the contrast is too much. It's losing its ethereal quality. Let's see what we can do about that. Lighten it up, and then what I think might be best. The brush the brushes that I've used to make this, I made myself. Yeah, they're, as far as I know, they're essentially the Painter, which is the program I'm using, comes with a certain amount of stock brushes that have very dynamic effects. I can demo that again on another thing, but it's more or less tied to the Painter brush engine. This isn't something I've tried to reproduce the effect in Photoshop, and I haven't been able to. Procreate comes close. I've tried. It doesn't quite do it. you know, it'd be lovely if someone could figure it out. But for right now, they kind of my brushes by necessity. Okay, so that's that. Cover that. Okay. Create a subtle burn effect here where I'd like a little bit of shadow happening. It's almost too much. Here, let's switch tools. Right. I'm constantly like, why doesn't this brush feel right? What the hell happened in between yesterday and today when I made no changes and now the brush just feels like it's wrong? Why are things like that? Small, soft, airy effects to help blend that a bit. I mean, even like shrinking it down like this far, it doesn't look that amazing. Let's see what we can do. I think a part of it's just the cropping. Let's do a fun, because this worked out the other day. Let's do some kind. Oop. Whoops. Kind of looks cool. That's straight up black. And this is a big old cheat, but the vignette effect. Shadow below the neck looks weird. No, I appreciate you just tell us what you think. It may be something we should amend. Let's see what else can look good. Let's see here. He looks like the devil. There are some What I literally just did right now was I took the same layers that I was drawing on and I simply duplicated them, which has helped to it's looking good. Do again with the wings. These are all of my hacks. Almost makes it look like I know what I'm doing, huh? It may have been it catching on you, and especially so as we approach. No, you guys are right. What's happening now is we're getting caught up on some of the truths, which is like you as you approach like something that's like akin to realism, your mind becomes way more sensitive to things that are slightly off. So let me no, I want the feedback, because there's a lazy part of me that just wants to be done. But like if we're so close to like making it look fucking killer, right? Let's do it. So, because there shouldn't be any reason why like you should have like a comment that like I'm like, well, there's no way to implement. Of course we can do it. Let's add some shadows to the inside of the armpit. I was thinking about like adding more halftones. Like, essentially is I think what we're sort of realizing is that it needs more, not dramatically, but something that feels like separating these spaces a bit. And I don't want to get too sloppy about it. If I did that, yeah, see, some of those things are coming across. Still want my application to be accurate. What should be the case is that the lightest part of his body should be maybe here on the chest and here on the forehead, maybe a little bit here on the shoulders. But what we were running into, which is bothering us, is that like there's so much evenly lit portions of his body. It's like begging for some of this halftones. Way light falls across the body like has to be a gradient. If the light is up here, like say it's like coming down, the parts that are farther away have to be darker. Even if they're turned toward the light, they have to be darker. Not in a proportional sense compared to the other things. Now you can make adjustments if you feel like the composition needs it. Like it's like, well, we need this area to read more, so we need more light. Well, then put more light there, but you'll have to compensate in other areas. How's that? Looking a little better? definitely get some of this. Not too much. You know, we want to honor our model too and not make him look like Hercules with tons and tons of muscular definition. We must honor Satan. No, but you know, I wonder if there's any way I can just sort of make this all fall off into darkness somehow. So clearly doing something with his hands in the original art. I mean, we could really do a fun cheat and just make it look like he's sort of sitting on this. Let's just pull out all the stops. We should, well, if nothing else, I want to really quickly add a little bit of subtle highlight to the hello. Man. Some of these structures. Just to highlight the grotesque. Kind of needs it, in my opinion. This is awesome. I'm going to put some, because it's already halfway there. What if we made it look like there were some subtle clouds of smoke he was more or less perched on? I've been saving my work, so we're in no real danger of continuing. Doesn't have to be anything super overt. This is the kind of ideation you would use as a concept artist to bring that extra mile to something in your portfolio. I imagine. I mean, I'm not a concept artist by trade, but showing that storytelling in your image we want as artists to be able to go, hey, you know, fuck AI. We can do this ground up. You don't need to pull the slot machine 1,000 times. Just hire somebody who knows what they're doing and get it right. Be patient so we can do it. It's a little of that. Huh. Interesting. Not altogether unpleasing to the eye. A little bit of the kind of highlight effect on the old. And I get in there. Now I want a little bit more glow coming off the wings. More. A lot of the tricks that I'm doing right now, AI images do. Like enhancing contrast in areas where somehow the machine knows where they're needed and applies it. It wouldn't be altogether wrong to describe some of the lighting effects and stuff I'm doing as a little bit of having like an AI feel. And that is why, like, I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do this sort of thing, it's gotta be streamed live because people will want to know. They might have a like, hey man, you really draw that? Real artists do get called out. Some of them do use AI. And they should know better, but I'm making this bit of cloth too dark, I know, but it will be lightened in a minute. I just wanted something to feel like I can control for that separation a bit more. Darkness here. Leading lines? What are leading lines? You can tell I've got lots to learn. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I wonder if should we pull out all the stupid atrocious effects? Should we make it look like there's like sparks? In the background, could we have Something felt like there was fire. Yeah, there's much that I like. I'm glad it's coming together decently. So what happened, like, after I did Mushroom Princess was I was like, cool, looks great. Stopped it, saved it, posted it, turned it in. And then instantly I noticed all these things I forgot to do, like things I would have wanted to do and didn't. And I'm like, well, it's too late. It's there. You know, it's and you know, of course it was well received, but I'm possibly a little gun shy. Yeah, fairy mushroom fairy. She and it's normal. It's like I turned it in and then I was like, oh, I left some stuff on the table there, you know. I could have done something else. Could we make it look like coulda, woulda, shoulda? Yeah, exactly. It's like there's contrast here. It's like a Satan is, the kingdom is burning. In the background. I don't want to overstate it. It's like too much probably. I'm no genius renderer of fire either. There we go. And this is all on a different layer. If we hate the fire, we can just delete it. I don't think I love it, so... Insane. It was insane free art. Insanely good. Maybe just so subtle. Something that feels like something it could be. More vignette. More vignette will save us. Okay. Oh, nope. Okay, last thing we can do. Take the entire image, paste it on top of itself, and play with some blending modes like that. Essentially doubling down on itself. Like, that's some moody shit right there. Probably too much, but I'm making my computer cry. Think I want to try something. It doesn't have to be crazy. What if we... Damn it. So right now what I feel might be happening is I think the light of the background is competing too much with the light on his body. Sort of take away the ability for that to happen. It'll end up being a much darker piece overall, and I think that would serve as well. Definitely pulled out all the tricks on this one. It should be dark. Yes, exactly. And more than anything, if there's if the mushroom fairy taught me anything, and I learned a lot on that. Like, hey, this works and is worth doing. Learned anything, it's don't forget your backgrounds. On that one, we were just like, okay, background can just be white, perfectly white. And as soon as I saw it in the thumbnail image on Reddit, I was like, I made a terrible mistake. Not a terrible mistake, but what was an A could have been an A+. There. Here, let's try it both ways. With, without. Yeah, 3 hours. Well, how long has this been? Does it say? Oh, another 3 hours, yeah. Maybe I split the difference a little bit. Because I didn't hate it, but... So, not quite dark, not quite white. Yeah, there is some chit-chat. Certainly an amount of pandering to my audience. I mean, the closer up you get, the more amazing it is, but it'll be something that, okay, no notes, okay. That's what I want. No notes from the Peanut Factory, or Peanut Gallery, whatever the right term. No, you guys are insanely helpful for me to bounce ideas off of. This looks good. Little Satan, unhappy with his current station in life, regrets his decisions. Pride is hurt. Okay, so don't go yet. We have minutes left to spare to... Oh, I definitely went over time, but it's okay. Let's post this to Reddit. People posting all sorts of stuff. Okay, let's find Reddit we go. Okay, rDrawMe. Wait, it's right here. This is it. Okay. So this is it. Yeah, okay. Click here. Has anybody drawn yet? Okay. People doing video. I'll check that one out later. Okay. OP is named Mike. Okay. Oh. We'll see what he thinks, huh? Let's see here. Save as. Excellent. High quality. Yes, please. I will. I'll post it right there too. We'll do it all. Although I think I'll have to stop the stream in order to make that happen. So let's see here. Won't I have to do that? Because the VOD won't be up until after I stop the stream. But anyway, if you go to rDrawMe, scroll down, you'll find this guy. This is where I'm posting. It was posted 6 hours ago. Here we go. So I need to go here. Give us Linky. Listen, stick around 2 seconds after I end the stream. I'll post it to the chat. Is that okay? Is that enough? Oh, wait, no, I can do that here. Here's the link. I can do this here. There we go. This is the way. Oh, I can't paste into there. How come I can't do that? Copy. Paste. What? How come I can't? Copy this, put that in there? No. Okay, so I don't know why, but I can't copy this URL into the chat. Ham, thank you so much. Do that. All right, I'm going to start to write this. What did I write last time? 3 hours drawn live on my Twitch stream here. And then I'll post the thing. But first I'll upload the drawing. You'll see it. Boo, 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 boo. Well, it looks good. You are Satan. All right. We're going to stop the Twitch stream. I'm going to take a little breaky. I'll come back. I'll do some Mirage for Lollywobbles, and we'll have a good time. It'll be much more fun. All right. I love you all. Thank you for coming. And be sure to vote on Reddit. Make sure my vote looks awesome. All right. Thank you so much.